Today, we'll visit some little-known or long-forgotten places here in the greater Bethlehem area. In some cases, these were unincorporated villages or places not necessarily governed by a municipal corporation. In many examples, the name corresponds with a key location, usually at an important travel crossroads. Often, the areas were named for early settlers or other prominent citizens or landowners. In the case of the three communities we feature today, one still exists, and the others are merely terms used to describe a particular location. As far as the question of what happened to these places, most often, they became victims of 20th century progress. Let's take a quick look back at these forgotten places here on Exploring Bethlehem. Steel City is unique with its homes haphazardly placed along a maze of streets, sometimes winding in circles. It's a community where several streets bear the names of Bethlehem Steel bigshots from the company's early days, but the community had no official connection to the company, other than many steel employees lived there at one time. It's a community with a sense of mystery about it because much of what is known about Steel City comes from the stories of its older residents rather than from documented history, of which there is very little. Local museums and area historical societies were unable to produce any historical framework on the community. Founded in 1915, the community sits on 282 acres in Lower Saucon Township, just south of Freemansburg across the Lehigh River. It is nestled in a mountainous, wooded region with some of its original homes resembling cabins and stone farmhouses. Take a walk through the area and you'll notice streets with names of people linked to the steel. The intersection of Schwab and Snyder is in the heart of Steel City. Charles Schwab, who started running the company in 1904. H.S. Snyder was one of Schwab's top executives. Other notable street names include Grace, Matthews, and Roberts, other high-ranking steel officials at one time. It is documented that the original home of Richard and Catherine Freeman, the founders of Freemansburg, was built in Steel City in 1765. Local lore has it that Steel City could actually have been Freemansburg, but the Freemans were chased from their property by hostile Indians, which still stands along Riverside Drive. Some will recall the area for the Reddington Proving Grounds Division, which was used for testing munitions during World War I. The area is probably best known, or perhaps notorious, as the site of the Bushkill Valley Motorcycle Club hill climb. This had been a small settlement located in northwest Bethlehem Township, along the Monocacy Creek. It was along the Bethlehem to Nazareth Pike, or today's Route 191. Broadhead was named for Charles Broadhead, who was the builder of the Lehigh and Lackawanna Railroad. There was an important station located here. The rail line was about 7 miles from Bethlehem, and due to its location relative to Bethlehem and to Nazareth, the settlement also became known as Halfway House. Beginning around 1870, it was known as Broadhead Station. This remained so until around 1930. At its peak, Broadhead boasted having a coal yard, the train depot, and even a hotel called the Union Hotel. The village known as Shainersville existed more or less at the intersection of Route 987 and today's Shainersville Road. The road divides two different counties, and due to this location, part of the village was in Lehigh County, and the rest was in Northampton County. Part of this road was used during the walking purchase. Shainersville was named for Adam Shainer, who settled here in 1794. He operated a tavern called the Blue Ball, and it was located on the Lehigh County side of the line, very near what most of us recall as the Shainersville Inn. The Blue Ball was operated by Shainer, and later by his son until 1840. The business best known as the Shainersville Inn was built by Jonas Snyder in 1850. Maps from that period show the inn, a general store, and around 10 dwellings around this intersection. The village mostly disappeared due to various types of suburban development and by airport expansion. These are but a few of the tiny villages and hamlets which have been lost to annexation and aggressive development over the years.